best minds in the world on gold and silver. And I've been a member of Le Metropole Cafe for approximately 3 or 4 months now, and the stuff I've learned on there is just incredible. And so what I'd like to do is, if it's okay with you guys, to unblock the members and just allow them at this time to type in their email addresses into the chat text field so I can collect those, because Bill would like to send an email out with more information on that. And that would be great if that would be something that you could do at this time. So thanks for that, and so I'll just I guess Gabe MC is up next, so I'm just going to hand it back to Bill now, so Gabe can ask Bill a question. Thank you. Over to Bill now.
Okay, shoot.
Am I on? Bill, it's great to be on here. I really appreciate it. 3 questions. I'll start with, what's your long-term price target for silver? Number 2, the gold and silver ratio has not fluctuated very much. How, with the manipulation going on, is there a way to manipulate the gold-silver ratio? And then finally, do you see any country going to a gold-backed currency? And if you do, possibly which country? Thank you.
Well, good questions. Price target, if we're correct, you can come up with telephone book numbers here if the physical supply is not there. Now, of course, as always happens, at certain points you'll get some sticker shock and you get price setbacks. But, I think short term, my goal is 30 bucks an ounce. I think technically you can come up with counts like that. But again, if there's a big enough shortage as we think there is, you can pick numbers that are much higher than that, even in the next year or two. So I think it's just getting ready to take off. And regarding the gold silver ratio, silver it's really picked up of late with silver gaining on that. I think technically you have some breakdowns here, and I think this is very significant because, as I mentioned, silver is their weak link when it comes to all the stuff we've talked about. You can always find some gold here or there, and the IMF can sell some gold, and who knows, the IRS are desperate, they can put, but the silver's gone. It's gone. It's not there. Where are they going to get it? And we think they've stayed at the party too long, and that's what's going to cause silver to go nuts. And I think the silver-gold ratio will continue to contract. Regarding the currency question thing, is difficult because, especially as I said, knowing what God knows, people think that the central banks have 30,000 tons of gold, and if we're right, we've been talking about this for some time, they have less than 15,000 tons of gold. And there's going to be a lot of, and a lot of the gold is what is lent out. It's no longer there, and they can't get it back. So to go on a gold-backed currency would be difficult, at least for the Western countries. You have Malaysia talking about this kind of thing, and some other countries, but I just don't know if there's, and I'm not, this is not my forte, but I don't know if there's enough gold around with the central banks to make it meaningful, to be honest with you. The question I got is, what's the latest with Andrew Maguire, who is the whistleblower who gave Gada the information regarding what he was trying to do with the CFTC? But by the way, that they wouldn't let him speak, so he sent this to my colleague Adrian Douglas, and we were able to make the presentation. I can't get into too much, but Andrew's been very involved in the silver market system. First of all, ironically enough, he used to work for Goldman Sachs. And how this developed is that he was at the bars where the J.P. Morgan traders were hanging out and drinking, and probably after too many beers, they were talking about how they laughed at the investors, how they were making so much money. And he just got totally ticked off at the thing. He knew about Gada as a member of my website. He just got fed up and went to the CFTC and said, this is just all wrong. And he's very active. I know he's been in contact with the CFTC. We're expecting some kind of lawsuits down the road, but they haven't materialized. But we're hopeful that they will. He's healthy. He's a real good guy. He's smart. He deals with Asian banks, so he knows the physical market. He knows what he's talking about. And someday that'll be that story and what happened to him. And I think, honestly, me too, getting blacked out under the webcam coverage. It's going to be a big deal down the road again when silver blows up.
Okay, while we wait on Futures, Futures, you need to take the mic next, but first, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Bill, this is Mike Price again. There's a lot of things that, we need to be looking into when it comes to the prices of silver, and some of the things that we don't want to hear about is possibilities of things happening. And I'm going back into the industrial applications. The backbone of our country is the small businesses, these small corporations. These small corporations, 150, 200 employees. And my question is, if a lot of these smaller corporations find that they cannot purchase silver to actually produce their products, can we possibly see a cry out by the small businesses for regulation on silver prices?
Well, Mike, the problem is going to be if it's when it's now. You're saying, can they stabilize the price? The problem is where's the silver going to come from? I mean, this is when people should be jumping up and about it now so that they get proper price discovery so they can make plans for their businesses. You're absolutely correct. But, I can't do it. We've been trying to get this thing resolved for a long time now. So we can't do anything about that. All we can do is warn people about here's the potential what could happen, and you better get out and secure your supply. And that's where we can come from. When it comes to what else can happen, it's going to be very difficult. After all the stink that Gada has made and the Ted Butler people have made, going to the CFTC, what we said at the hearing, my private meetings, I tell you, this Bart Shilton, the commissioner, is one heck of a guy. He really does give it credit. We've been trying to expose this thing so people could do their proper businesses. It wouldn't be typical that you have the government backing J.P. Morgan's operations, and then it blows up, and of course, once again, the little guy will get hurt, and Morgan will probably get bailed out. It's very disconcerting for the silver people, but we're just trying to warn them, don't get on the Titanic.
Go ahead there, Futures. You had a freeze out. You was in mine. Okay, he still may be having a problem. Go ahead, Go Silver Media.
Hey, Joe. I have a two-part question. Do you have more dollars in physical metals or more dollars in mining stocks? And if you do own mining stocks, would you be able to disclose your top 3 positions? Thanks.
Yep. Well, I have more money in mining stocks than gold and bullion, both gold and silver. But of course, a combination is best. I have one particular stock that's been a dog for the last 3 years. It used to be a superstar, EQ Silver. It's by far my biggest holding. It used to trade 350 Canadian. It's trading about 65 cents Canadian. I think silver was half the price, or less than half the price when it traded there. They've got 420 million ounces of reserves. They've got more building. They're cash flow positive. We believe that there's a big short position in the stock. Some people say it's because of me being very long the stock. I don't know about that, but that's one thing I know about. I've been down to the mine. I know Michelle Roy, the president, for a long time. They're quality people. I think the stock can just explode, and it's a steal at this point, because if we're right about the price, just the fact that they have that much in the ground already proved up with a massive sulfide below what they've already found. They have what they call a scoping study coming out before the end of the month, which should show more people that this is the case. So I'm not, the Great Panther are good people, and there's some other fine ones, but I really know a lot about this stock, and I just think it's a home run play, and I don't mind telling people I think so. So I hope that's of help.
Let's see if Silver Futures can come to the mic here again, Bill. And if he can't, maybe he can go ahead and be typing out his question, maybe. So we'll give him another chance and give him a few seconds to get on the mic. If he doesn't, Morgan SLV, you take it.
Hi, this is Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Hi, Bill. Have you personally met or spoken with the traders from the other side of the manipulation, such as people at JP Morgan?
That's another good question. No, I not really. Of course, as I said, Andrew Maguire knows them very well, but I have not. We're pretty much persona non grata. It's picking up and things are changing a bit. We had a story in the Financial Times in London, their weekend magazine section, which Gatto was featured. But boy, for 10 years, I was on CNBC, I think 11 years ago now. And with Ron and Son,